يشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له الحمد لله رب العالمين الحمد لله ولا كريم وصلى الله على الحمد أجمعين ومسيح ومهدي ومجدد لأن مرسلين. Now we return to the drive. ربنا ادمننا نورنا إلى تعالى كون سير كبير. This is from the 66th Surah of Al-Quran, which reads, O Sustainer, please complete for us our life. Now we return to the drive. Like you say, you've been through some things. And I said, to make you feel any better, you ain't in what? Alone. Mm-hmm. Then I guarantee if I ask every one of them to speak out, you will see that a lot of the same things you were made to go through, they went through what? Also, too. Which let you know we family. Family in a way by which most don't even understand. That's how bonded we all what? Are. By the experiences
you have to come.
That we know damn well, nigga, you couldn't talk about that. You not been through the same shit I went through.
Mm.
And we know you've been through it, because you're able to talk about it. And then, the also you able to talk about is how the heavens was there for you every step of the way. And how even in your worst of times, you were what? Provided for. Don't you know it's we who gave you that coat when you were cold? It's we who fed you when you were starving and nobody would give you something to eat. It's we who have been with you every step of the way. That when you reflect upon, and you remember, should bring tears to your eyes. To the point that you say, good Lord, thank you. Thank you. And I'm still thanking you right here to what? Today. Because I know without you, I'd have been gone a long time what? Ago. But I'm still here and I'm still alive. And I've lived to tell the story. And thank you, oh Heavenly Family, for having provided for me in that way. I know when I was cold, it's you who gave me the blanket. I know when I didn't have nowhere to go. Out of nowhere, there you was giving me somewhere. And I've learned to be grateful. Because you all are great people. And in order to be a great people, that means you got to be full of some sort of greatness. In order to be full of some sort of greatness, that means you have to be grateful for the small things. And each of you have been made to humble out. Where if it was $1 or a dime, you became thankful because it was more than what you what? Had. And it came most times from places you wouldn't have even what? Expected it. We all got stories to what? Tell. that indeed are true and quite meaningful. If to nobody else, to you, each one of those situations that you will never forget, ever, because they were powerful situations. That here today fills you with a certain type of power too. If you haven't forgotten, and you haven't, and like I told you, I was going to read to you a conversation that was held between me and a woman. I'm pulling it up right now. And I want y'all to bear witness to what was said. Give me a second. Because what you all are going to hear, man, let me tell you something. I told the truth. It's about what she couldn't deny. The type of truth that his day, nobody could tell her. Not in that way, and she knew it. Though still, she didn't admit it, but in her own little way, she acknowledges it because her and I are friends here today. And the conversation went as such. Listen and learn. It said, I'm going back, watch this. And mind you, this is a woman with gray hair in her head. She said to me, I saw this earlier today, and I know what this is. I was watching pray. And I said, what do you say it is? This was after seeing, I sent her a picture of my face in the clouds. Are you understanding? Yes. She said, she said, the New Jerusalem. I looked up and I saw Jerusalem. I then replied and said, the face you see is mine. I put it there. She said, I did not see a face. The Holy Spirit said it was the New Jerusalem. So let me get this straight. You are claiming to be Yeshua? To which I responded, I said, no, I'm not claiming. I am. She said, okay. I said, send me your email address. I'm going to send something to you. I sent her a copy of the Circle and the Square, Part 1, and the question and answer book. She sent it to me. I said, thank you. Just give me a minute. Then notify me when it arrives. You should have it in a minute here now. I'm sending 3 books to you, and let me know when they have arrived. She said, got it. And gave me a thumbs up. Now what? Timing on? Okay, wait a minute. She said, I'm on my way upstairs to my prayer office to begin your book. I said, thank you. When you finish, please let me know. Peace and love. I then got a communication from the state. You have been here all this time and you're just now talking to me? Why now? I said, each truth in its own time. And why now? To answer that I may share something with you. She said, yes, you may. I said, thank you. She said, you're welcome. It was once told to me when I asked why me, after being told I would have to suffer great pain in places, I was asking at that time, why me? Haven't I suffered already enough? She responded, okay. And I said, it was said, if you want to know why, if I could answer just one question, I would have to answer not just to the why that I was asking at that point, but to every why I've ever asked in all my life. She said, okay, never mind, laugh out loud. To which I responded, and what made that question be? At which time I was told, the question is, why? That took me 3 years to answer. Would you like to take a crack at it? She said, you are sure? And it took you 3 days? I'm sorry, 3 years? Laugh out loud is how I responded. Is that a statement or a question coming from you and your last text? 3 means something. I said, yes, but that's not what I'm asking. She said, I'm not asking why, it's a statement. Well, thank you is what I said. Now, if you will, I would like to finish. She said, yes. So you are about to get a blessing is what I said. And I will continue to address your statement after I finish. I promise. She said, okay. I said, thank you. Gave her a thumbs up. Now, where was I? Is what I said. Again, the question was put to me that asked why. And before I now answer, I now am asking you, would you like to take a crack at it? Why? She said, what? I don't understand. Okay, I get it. I'd like to know, this is what I said to her. I would like to know, would you like to try to answer? She said, I'll take a crack at it. Give me a minute. Then I said, now, remember what the question is. Why? She said, why that come from a type of doubt. I don't know. I said, oh, I see. So as a gift, I will not only give you its answer, but I will also give you even more. Cool? To give me a thumbs up. Say cool. Because why exists in a state of is? Why is? That's why. Now after that has been put there, now you have to look for, well, just what is why. And in order to know, well, just what is why, you have to first establish, well, just what why is not. And do you want to know what why is not? I say, are you there? Brenda, are you there? Maybe you're busy. We can continue at a later time if that is what you prefer. She said, sorry. She said, yes, hello, what happened? Is what she said. I said, are you busy now? If so, she said, I'm not busy. So stay with me, is what I said. We were temporarily disconnected. Please, and if you will, okay, is what she said. Now, what do you remember was the last thing I said, is what I text. Go back and read, please, and if you will. She came back and said, what? Why is not? I said, right. Now, do you want to know what why is not? She said, yes. I said, why is not a question? Why is a complaint? And then she put a smiley face with a hand over his mouth. And then a smiley face looking down with a tear. And the only time you put it out there in the universe is when you're complaining about something. She said, I can see that. My humble apology to you. I hope, and then I said, I hope I didn't offend you. No, I'm not offended is what she said. I did not know. I said, as a child of the Most High, you can ask what, where, when, and how, but never ask why. She said, thank you. I said, no, thank you for giving me opportunity. She said, I'm speechless. To which you might say, to do what? And to which I would respond, to do what I was sent here to do. She said, I see that I need to use wisdom in my speech. And then I text back and said, because I love you. Did you know, is what I said, it's only because of that word that now after 2,000 years I've returned? She said, yes. What you should be asking is what word? Don't you think so? She says, how? I said, merely by asking. For asking you shall receive, seeking you shall find, and knocking the door shall be opened. Now, do you want to know what word? Stay with me now. She said, I'm working towards a shelter for women. I don't have any money. I saw the vision of turning a strip club into a center for women. I said, but you must do this first. She said, okay. Because of one word. Do you know what that word is? Is what I asked. She said, I'm not sure I do. I said, because the one word that has brought you to me, and me to you, do you want to know what that word is? She said, yes, I do. I said, need. And when she put a smiley face, that looked surprised, she put another smiley face, there was in a state of contemplation to it. Thinking. I said, think about it deeply. Because if it has now fallen into your awareness, you owe it, it's just due. Don't you think so? She said, we're talking about need, right? I said, so judge the tree by the fruit that it bears. And I said, yes, that's exactly what we're talking about. Because when the need is great, the master will appear. And you be the judge of it. She said, wow. Because I'm sure you, when you shake the meat tree, nothing but good fruit will fall. And don't believe me, check it out for yourself. And you be the judge of it to see. She said, how? Am I the Messiah or am I not? She said, check you out. How? I said, many ways. First, by the books you have, read, and then you will give, and then I will give you more. But one step at a time, child. One step at a time. She put a smiley face. I said, cool, and I promise you, you'll know. She then texted me and said, you know, these are the days of the great deceiver. So I want you to know that I'm watching and praying over all of this. I'm a praying woman. I said, may the Most High be my witness. If you were not, you would have never found me and would have never found you. And I would have never found you. But no one prayer have you prayed that is not we who have heard. And now it is the time for you to be the judge of that. So, read, child. Read. Go and read. She said, yes. All my prayers have been heard and answered. I said, are you on your way to read now? Then all my prayers have been answered too. Reach out to when you need to. Reach out to me when you need to. I promise I will be right there. Peace and love until then. She said, your birth year is 2003? I said, what are you talking about? I said, what you are talking about is a rebirth, not a birth. She said, okay. Now watch. Days went by. She sent me a video of a white woman preaching. You know how the preachers be preaching? And Jesus said, they've done this for me, and Jesus, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I said, well, said, I hope you can see me, because I know you always have. And in this, I don't hope so, I know so, that you see me full well right now, and I know, and I've always known, that you know right now just where I am. Just where I am. Days went by. Then I see the text from it reads, Grand Rising. Now about the word why. Can you show me in the scriptures your idea about why? Truth must be lined up with the given word. That which was shall be again. I hope you understand where I'm going with the conversation. Thank you. There's nothing new under the sun. I said, no, the truth is what I text back. This is not a debate, she said. It makes sense what she said about God. I need clarity, though, through the word. I said, I know, but in the beginning was the word. Then I text back and said, but the Most High blesses the thinking man and woman. She said, tell me from the word about why. I said, what this is, I said, what this is, the way is the beginning. Do you agree? Where in the word is the word, and then I text, and I said, where in the word does the word say that truth will end right there and exist only there? She said, my father told me not to believe every spirit, but to test every spirit to see if it is him. I said, but the thing I said long ago, because it is a fact that the conditions of our people then did not in no way remain the same. And does it say there will be a new, I said, and doesn't it say there will be a new heaven and a new earth? He said the measure of truth and velocity is through his word. I said, and the word will indicate in a time to come. I said, and the word will indicate, and the word will indicate in a time to come. Does it not? His words are mine. I speak with a voice here today. She then texted back and said, tell me about the word why, please. His word is written years old, and I am almost 66. She said, I am. I said, and nowhere can you show me where it says I will not speak again here in the latter day. She's thinking now. She put a fake, smiling face thinking. Well, what would you make? I text back, well, what would you make you think that my voice here today would only have everything that I already said? All I'm asking about is the theory of why. And you're all over the place. I like the theory. I just need clarity. We are living in the last days, and I'm told to watching and praying, fasting and praying. I said, and text back, I said, what makes you think we'd only come back here, that I would only come back here today to say to you all everything that I have already said, and that I would not come saying anything more? What makes you think that? Theory is something that is yet to be proven, is it not? And you are right. We all are here now in the latter day, and so am I. But again, there will be a new heaven and a new earth. Did it not say? And so how can there be anything new, or how is it that it can't be anything new under the sun coming to you? If that which is new does not start with very new, I said, if that which is new does not start with very new things that needs to be said. She said, okay, well, never mind. You cannot seem to answer my question. You're the one that told me that God was a complaint, and I had never heard that before, and I wanted clarity, but you can't, so I'll move on. I said, that needs to be said, because isn't it true that I said I have many things to tell you, but you cannot bear them yet? But I'm giving you clarity. You don't see that? Because I said, You cannot bear them yet. Long time ago. So it is expedient that I leave you. But if I do not leave you, the Comforter will not come. Didn't I say that? And I just said Comforter because I didn't want her to get on track. She said, have a wonderful day. I said, if you say that I am still not giving you clarity, I will say to you that that is only because you are not looking for clarity. And that your argument is not with me, it's with yourself. And that your questions are centered around the fact that you think you already know. And you are here today merely reaching to try to prove me wrong while doing whatever you can, the best you can, to prove it. And in this, you then become your very own worst enemy, who then stops herself from getting everything that is beautiful that you still may need. You don't see that? Well, you should know that if it is coming down, it is from above you, which should cause you to reach, but only in the best of ways. She said, sir, when I first text you, I said, not a debate. I said, and what we have here is because of you and your doubts, that you still do not know how to approach me. For surely the way you have has not been in the best of ways. And I'm not debating, because what I just said is a fact. And if you're being honest with yourself and honest with me, you have to admit this to be true. And how do I know? Because you didn't even say thank you. Now, did you? And your approach is even from the start has been arrogant. And if you don't know this to be true, then consult your discerning spirit. Because I totally understand your plight and your pain, to which I know for certainty that all of this is very hard for you. In fact, I wouldn't think it to be anything less. She said, let me start over. Good morning. Thank you for your time. Can you please inform me about the thought process or your philosophy of why? Do y'all all see what I just did? I made her rethink the entire situation. In so much as that she was approaching me arrogantly. Never once did she say please, and never once did she even say thank you for having given her the books in the first place for free. Now she said, let me start over. Now she's using the word please. To give up your philosophy on what? Then I said, for nothing is easier said than done, but no good comes easy. And to you, I now say this, that is done and then made easy for you. That's right. Now, I also say to you, with all due respect, that in it all, from the day of our very first correspondence to even now, has been from me to you in a totality, but not from you to me. But mine from me to you has been in place and well placed from the very start, the whole time. And I know you see. But from you to me, I truly feel that in your approach, I've not been afforded the same thing. However, I accept all of that because, like I said, I totally understand your pain and your plight. But no one has ever said that for you to know me here in the latter day, that in any way, any of this would be easy for anyone. Easy. Now, have they? And never will you hear me say to give me the benefit of the doubt. For I know there is no such thing. The truth is beyond doubt, and no one will ever get a benefit from doubt, which is why we gave you all of the discerning spirit in the first place. Yes, I can, and for you, right now, I will. But only because I love you. And you said to me, please. And because I love you, I will. On philosophy, that goes back to Aristotle and Socrates and Plato, who were Greeks and also fools, who were wrong also because they invaded into a privacy of this family that they should not have. And I say that because they were viewing something that did not belong to them. And in this could only use the art of conjecture, which is the art of guesswork, that made them the very philosophers that, truth be told, they were then, that here today makes the foundation of all information that have come to you all here in this American society to be built upon the art of guessing the whole way, which is only that way because they brutally invaded our schools, temples, and halls of knowledge under a person who was and is no way great, but was called Alexander the Great, who had sex with small boys as if it was fashionable, and they came looking for a fight. But when they got there, we who are and always will be the right and the righteous had already gone, leaving them nothing at all. But to fervently speak about it, it was said to us, who are the master teachers, by one of the master students, but master, what about all the information on the walls? To which we responded, leave it and fear not, but they won't understand it no way. And they then went on under the art of guessing to take over the whole place, establishing under this Alexander person the first library, called the Library at Alexandria, which is when this being Alexander came out of the closet, taking on the name Alexandria, at which point he then was admitting to being a homosexual, that he was, causing in it all a great travesty. So then it became an effort that had to be made to dig out now from under thousands of sheets of paper the truth. That is still causing here today a tremendous effort that has to be made now by you all in order to find it and learn that which is true, which again at many places and at many times is only half truths, and in many other places not true at all. Because remember, what were they using? The art of conjecture, which is philosophy, which is built on not facts. I hope I answered your question. I know that I have taken this time out for you because I love you and because I totally understand your plight and your pain, and I wish you nothing but peace, and that you come to know all truths that is beyond doubt, and you will, I am sure. But when the truth is told to any member of this family, it can be felt. You feel me? Because I know I have now filled you with the truth. So help me God, who is himself, who is God himself, who is my Father. And it told me to tell you everything I now have said. I do nothing of my own. I do only what my Father tells me to do. Peace and love. Signed after Ray. She said, wow. So you expect me to just up and believe in someone that says they're God? I've heard and been around all kinds of people where people have said they're God, and I say, he is here or there. No, and say, excuse me, people have said they're God or say, he is here or there. I said, no, I do not. I do not want you to believe me. But what I do want is for you to furtherly check it out. I don't want you to believe me, because what I do want is for you to furtherly check it out and continue to. Now, I said, can I ask you a question? Please. She said, yes. I said, no. Can I ask you 2 questions? Please. She said, yes. But I'm skeptical about when people ask me, can they ask me a question? It almost always turns into a negative debate. I desire to follow after peace. I said, I understand. So to you, I would say I'm sorry, and I would do my very best to not let that happen again. She said, thank you. I only wanted to ask if you have prayed about this and or consulted your discerning spirit? And have you read the books? She said, I read as much as I could digest. At this particular time, I'm about my father's business. I'm working on a project as a nonprofit to give women of diversity a shelter. You disturb my spirit by saying I'm arrogant. Anyone that knows me will tell you I do not have an arrogant or puffed up spirit at all. You could not be Yahshua, or you would have known that. At 9 years old, I was raped by a minister and found by a different minister at the altar of a church. I had 30 years of addiction to crack cocaine and 13 years sober. I was physically blind and now I see. I was in a burning building as an infant, and Yahshua sent someone to save my life. Sent someone to save my life. I have a personal relationship with Yahshua. You or no one can tell me anything about Yahshua. And through it all, I give praise and worship him. I said, like I said, many times, are two questions. Like I said many times before, there are two questions and two types. The two questions I want to ask, but so also there are two types of questioners. Then she said, do you mind if we can get together at some other time? I'm right in the middle of putting together a business budget for Yahshua's housing for his lady. I must be diligent in obedience to Yahshua. I said, meaning, the one questioner who really wants to know, so their souls are crying out. Then there are those who are not seeking answers. They only coming, doing what they can to punch holes in whatever you come to bring. These are those who seek nothing. With the reason being is because in every way, for whatever reason, or group of reasons, they think they already know. And I'm quick to say, because of my experiences, you can't tell me nothing. While today you say that if I am Yahshua, I would already know that you are not arrogant. To which I now say to you that you would only tell, I said that I would only tell you that when you are being arrogant and not humble like I know you to be most of the time. Which is to say you are not humble all the time. And I've seen you that way in other places other than today, where you then are being arrogant also, but did not see yourself to be. Because even here today, you still don't see that yes, it is arrogant to say, no one can tell me nothing. Which stays the same no matter what the topic is chosen to be talked about. But if you do not have a compassion with all people that may know or even may not, you have nothing. For all must be compassionate. If they are of me, to which I know you know. So if you here today can't see your arrogance, I know you will continue to be arrogant in other places and toward other people. However, not seeing yourself to be. While if anyone was to tell you that, you would then go on to argue that that wasn't true, which again is arrogance. But remember, can't nobody tell you nothing about a relationship that you have with me, right? I said, enjoy your day. And again, peace and love. She said, you said you had a question or two, but I'm busy about my father's business. Shalom. If people would humble themselves, pray, and turn from their wicked ways, is what she said, then I will hear from heaven. I must understand the time we are in right now. Not only is Yahshua already here, but so is the Antichrist. I'm certainly not trying to be arrogant, just careful. I did not think nothing was wrong with me knowing my friend Yahshua, and the relationship that we have compels me to tell others of his glory. Yes, I brag and praise and worship Yahshua, not for me, but for his name's sake. How would you know that you are Yahshua? All I have in Yahshua is my faith in him. And she then says, thank you. To which I then sent her a class of ATUN-RE The Real Messiah, Truth is True. 2 days ago, she texted me and asked me, how are you doing? In a very humble and mild way. I shared that with you all for a reason. Without question, many things I say here today you can't find in the scriptures. Because the things that I'm saying here today are all the things that I wanted to say to you all a long time ago. However, I told you, I have many things to tell you, but you all can't accept them yet. And the things I say here today are all new to you. And my coming makes it where no one can now say there's nothing new under the sun. Because it wasn't until my coming that that statement remained true. Because everything I'm bringing you is new information. However, it's the very same things I wanted to say to you all a long time ago. But because of arrogance and you all thinking you knew the what, the when, the where, and the how, and because you were so strongly opinionated, there was nobody saying please or thank you. There was just arrogance abundantly coming from my own, which is why I vouch. But I've given my word to you all and to himself and to me myself with this time, no matter what y'all do, I'm here for the duration. And if none of you rise to the occasion, I told Ebony the other night, I'll do this all by my what? Self. But I don't see those attributes in place. I know you all to be rising. And without question, as long as I see growth and development, I'm quite thankful that you all are growing. And I'm not guessing at that. I know it to be true. Let me hold your phones, babe. Now I'm going to share with you all what Tahuti gave the other day that you all might have heard, but in no way did you know it was Tahuti. What I'm going to do, baby, I'm going to text this over your phone, and I want you to put your phone on the Bluetooth, and I'll play it to them like that. I'm going to send it to your phone right now, okay? 1 second. Should be there. Coming. Okay, family, is everybody there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I love y'all.
Love you too. Love you too. Love you too, Chief. Real talk.
Because this is Tahuti speaking. Start the video. Turn it up on your phone. No, it's I'm on YouTube. I gotta take my put those on there. There we go. Now see what. Let's play. You hear nothing. Turn your phone up. Or I was trying to Bluetooth up. 1 second, you guys. Do this. So that you have to break that cycle. How do we reach out? How do we stop? Yes, there's injustice. Right? Shit. This is Grandpop, y'all. Listen to take a video of someone's life leading them, but there's a business side of things. You're looking at it through the same history repeating itself, and you have to break that cycle. How do we reach out? How do we stop? Yes, there's injustice. Yes, we... Damn it. Why is it doing this? Come here, babe. Get me to your messenger. It started blinking and just went off. We march. Yes, we protest. But we do $2 million worth of damage. But they are insured for $4 million. Let me tell you something that no leader in this entire place of this nation has ever said, and have never given us the equation of how do you stop military killer. It's the same thing that they do in business. You insure yourself. Do Black Lives Matter? Do minority lives matter? Oh, yeah. But they would matter a whole lot more if they had a life insurance policy. You think if every person in the world, if every minority had a $500,000 life insurance policy, do you honestly think you would have to go somewhere and tell the police to stop killing you? The insurance companies will do it for you. Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that?
Yep.
That's the answer. You understand it? It was a short communication sent to me by Tahuti him what? Self. And I'm going to play it again so you can hear it. To take a video of someone's life leading them, but there's a business side of things. You're looking at it through the history repeating itself, and you have to break that cycle. How do we reach out? How do we stop? Yes, there's injustice. Yes, we march. Yes, we protest. But we do $2 million worth of damage. But they are insured for $4 million. Let me tell you something that no leader in this entire space of this nation has ever said, and have never given us the equation of how do you stop military killing. It's the same thing that they do in business. You insure yourself. Do Black Lives Matter? Do minority lives matter? Oh, yeah. But they would matter a whole lot more if they had a life insurance policy. You think if every person in the ghetto, if every minority had a $500,000 life insurance policy, do you honestly think you would have to go somewhere and tell the police to stop killing you? The insurance companies will do it for you. You hear that?
Yes, sir.
Now, let me just say this to you. It also, as soon as the communication dropped, Tahuti came and said, now think, little nigga. And yo, let me tell you something. When the gate opened up, it was like a floodgate of information that just said, bam! That has now afforded me also the means by which we can generate, listen, $250,000 what? Dollars in 2 weeks. But I'm not going to tell you all that part until we're standing face to what? To face. But that part right there, I want you all to know, which is why I put it out here today on the show. Every Nubian in the world needs to hear that. Do you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Now box it, bag it, and put it out there. Papa Quail. ربنا إننا نورنا إذا تعالى كون سير كبير. This is from the 66th surah of Al-Quran, which reads, O Sustainer, please complete for us our life. Now we return to the tribe.